Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics. Well, yesterday was a day of drama enough. The scripts I was working on for today, they may not see the light of day for a while now, if ever. Labour finally willing to explicitly attack Brexit as an economic mess on any stage, poking at the questions surrounding Farage on Russian bribes, which he so diligently tried to avoid by complaining about tampons. More on that later today. And the publication late last night, the thing that kept me awake, I haven't had sleep, late last night, of the witness statements related to the Chinese spy case, which completely blow the Tories' accusations out of the water. And better than that, the Tories ended up U-turning completely on what they claimed their beef with Starmer was over the affair. I hope there's nothing major in the news today because I'm still getting through what happened yesterday. This has been an unusual avalanche of material compared to over the past year. But first, for daily news and politics, please click the subscribe button to stay notified. So incredibly quick recap, because I don't want to keep going over common ground. The Crown Prosecution Service were investigating two people accused of basically spying for China. The CPS then unexpectedly dropped the case like 2 or 3 weeks ago, saying that they couldn't meet the evidence threshold without the official description of China as like a security threat to the UK. The Tories accused Labour of leaning on people to get the case dropped. Their specific accusations were that they'd prevented Matthew Collins, the Deputy National Security Advisor, from giving the CPS the witness statements they wanted by either Starmer, one of his ministers, or special advisors, and that Starmer's National Security Advisor, Jonathan Powell, held a meeting in September to discuss how to nobble the case. Starmer denied this. That meeting in September was about how to handle the case because they thought it was going ahead. But the Tories imagined Starmer wouldn't be able to prove it. But then he completely blindsided them yesterday by saying he was going to publish the witness statements, which the Tories were claiming basically didn't exist. And last night he did so. It proves that Collins made a supplementary witness statement in August, as Starmer had claimed, meaning that he certainly hadn't prevented it being made. It's now out, published in black and white. The dates also prove that Jonathan Powell couldn't have been discussing the evidence in his meeting in September because it had been sent off to the CPS by then and they didn't request anything further. And at that particular point, there's a lockdown on the distribution of evidence, so they couldn't have discussed it at that meeting. More than that, the witness statement does declare that China poses a threat to UK security. So now everyone is asking, what the hell is the problem of Stephen Parkinson, the current Director of Public Prosecutions? As far as a lot of experts can tell, the witness statement provided him with what he asked for, yet after receiving it, he dropped the case. Now, Parkinson, by the way, may have had some good reason for doing so. I don't know. I'm not an expert, right? But the actual expert views have been saying this. First, because the legislation being used was passed over 100 years ago, it's like from 1911, so it makes reference to an enemy. Was Parkinson wanting someone in the government or a senior official to describe China as an enemy? Because that would be mad. They haven't attacked us, right? You'd have more chance describing the USA as an enemy. And nobody's doing that. The only country I think we could probably describe as an enemy right now is Russia, who have actually come here and killed people on our soil. So some legal experts are saying that it would be impossible to get a conviction if that's the bar. But others have said, well, hang on a minute, similar cases have gone ahead in the past. So Parkinson may just have been excessively anal about this and shown poor judgment in what is admittedly not a common sort of prosecution, right? But the details of whether the two accused men should have been put on trial or not, that is a matter for people who know way more about it than I do. What is now beyond dispute is that Starmer did not prevent the Deputy National Security Advisor from producing the witness statements requested by the CPS. And because the main witness statement was made while the Tories were in power and the CPS still kept coming back for more over a period of about 2 years, it proves that the CPS were not happy with the Tory lines towards China at the time as well. And that's really important. Remember, the witness statement from Collins was provided while the Tories were in power, way ahead of the election. If they manage the situation as they insist Labour should be now, why does it have anything to do with Labour? Why wasn't it all done and dusted before the election? Remember, this goes back like a year before the election even took place. They've got no answer for that one. So basically, the Tories have messed up big time here. They obviously didn't expect Starmer to publish the witness statements, imagining that he would cite national security issues and leave the Tories able to provide their own fabricated version of events unopposed. After all, if Starmer really were desperately trying to curry favour with the Chinese government, he's not going to publish a document from a top official labelling China as a threat to UK security in such a specific way, is it? That's what the Tories will have thought. They probably would have genuinely thought Labour have leaned on them for, to curry favour with China, and therefore, of course, he wouldn't release the witness statements. But they miscalculated. Starmer's published. And now the Tories, in their reaction, have completely lost the plot. This time yesterday, they were accusing Starmer of interfering in the case. Multiple Tory MPs, including Kemi Badenoch and Tom Tugendhat, levelled that charge at Starmer. And he denied it. He said, I have... In fact, to Tom Tugendhat, remember, Starmer said... Well, I said, remember, you may have not seen it. But he said, I have not interfered. When I was Director of Public Prosecutions, no one, including the coalition government, put pressure on me. And I am carrying on that tradition, right?
The real question is, what political direction did this government give to their officials before they went to give evidence?
Absolutely none. Absolutely none. And I will also tell him this. I was the Chief Prosecutor for 5 years. And I can say, in that 5 years, which included 3 years under the coalition government, when we were taking difficult decisions on MPs' expenses, not once was I subjected to political pressure of any sort from anyone. That is the tradition in this country. It's a proud tradition. It's one I uphold as Prime Minister, just as I upheld it when I was Director of Public Prosecution.
So he denied interference. He was accused of interfering. Now that he's published the statements, they're saying it's disgraceful that when he was told the case was about to collapse, he did nothing to stop it. But had he done something, that would have been interfering, wouldn't it? His defence all along is that neither he, nor ministers, nor special advisers interfered in the work of the CPS. Had he intervened, as the Tories now say he should have done, that would have been political interference. The Tories have gone from accusing him of interfering over the last couple of weeks to today complaining that he didn't interfere. This is a tragic reminder. If Nigel Farage were a thing, things would be going swimmingly for Labour right now. If all they had to do was beat the Tories, they'd probably be set for 2 decades in power on the evidence of yesterday. And I said yesterday, the moment Starmer made his opening statement about releasing those witness statements, Badenoch should have gone to plan B and asked something else. But such is her laziness when preparing that she didn't have a plan B, did she? So she didn't change course, even as Starmer made her look more and more ridiculous and her party culpable for the mess while they were in government. I mean, at one point she said, I don't know what they're laughing at. And they all replied, you. Unintentional clowns are somehow funnier than the real thing, aren't they? But the second those witness statements were published, the Tories, they were published late last night. It's what's kept me up last night. They didn't have to say anything straight away, did they? What made them think they had to respond at 11 o'clock at night or something? They should have said nothing until they'd properly sat down and thought about it. Unbelievably stupid move. They have now highlighted a potential failure to treat national security seriously, which has now been demonstrated to have been the fault of the Tories in government. They expected Starmer wouldn't dare publish such sensitive documents as were required to prove his defence, but he did. They then failed to adapt. So where does it leave us now? Well, from the Tories' point of view, thank goodness they've got the media on their side, otherwise they'd be bound. But there is zero evidence that Starmer has done anything other than tell the truth here, and plenty of evidence that he did so. The CPS faces questions about why they dropped the charges when they were seemingly given exactly what they asked for. And the Tories have now spent an unwise amount of time drawing attention to the fact they could have made sure the evidence was suitable while still in power, and that they dragged their feet on strengthening laws designed to protect our Parliament from malicious interference. Why are we using a law that's over 100 years old? You know, the law we're using was passed before either of the 2 world wars. Geopolitics has moved on, right? The Tories are now left hoping Starmer was lying, that the role of himself, his ministers and special advisers, and the evidence emerges. But so far, the evidence has actually backed his position up. And as others have pointed out, Badenoch should probably have tread a bit more carefully when taking on Starmer over a matter of law, something which is his expert field. especially where the Crown Prosecution Service is concerned, because he used to run it, so he knows how it operates. Even by her own lofty standards, this has been a week of spectacular failure from Badenoch. I wonder if she'll finally realise that digging downwards doesn't get you out of the hole, or if she's just too dumb and will keep doubling down in the hopes of a miracle. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And for more content, you could subscribe to the channel or even join for access to streams and behind the scenes updates. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.